So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining in. All of you are attending live. You can see me on the camera. I do see that the speaker here is quite loud, you know. So please, you may need to tone down your speaker. I will just have a quick check with our friend Angelica if there's an echo. Otherwise, you will need to tone down the speaker. Now, we did make a nice video last time, but it was like 740 MB or something, and I don't have the time and patience to really upload it YouTube. Forget about the internet plan and the limits about it. So the camera thing for now would be available only for the live audience. I would have loved to connect with you over the camera at YouTube, but it doesn't seem like a viable option for now. Right now, you might be seeing me in this turtleneck shirt. Usually, most of us avoid turtleneck shirts. There's a story, one of the mentors told that at the time of Inquisition, when most of us used our healing gifts of that's my dog. So when most of us used the healing gifts of Mother Nature to heal others, to tap into energy, the matrix of nature, and this was somehow seen as division of power from the orthodox religions, not just one religion. So they were literally executed. So that's why maybe you're also one of them who avoids a turtleneck, but I consciously am wearing it because I really want to get over this fear. Whatever that is fear in my life, I really like to go into it and see it, you know. Okay, so this is the day third, finally, after a lot of emails and apology emails for not being able to join in. Finally, we are here. I had to shift back to Windows 8. Somehow my technician was not able to figure out the sound driver, and last night 1 a.m. something I figured out how to shift back the Windows 10 to 8 and create some more space in my computer. So here we are. Soon we might be using just right now you might be seeing me with this mic, what do you call this, headphone. You might be seeing me without a headphone soon, but I don't want to take risk, at least for today. Okay. So before we start into the class, I'll just check in with Angelica about the audio. Okay. Angelica, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, the audio is fine.
Okay, but it's louder than before, right? But it's fine.
Yes, it's louder, but it's fine.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so before we start with our session, let's do some clearing work. They say it's the Mercury retro time. I really didn't believe in astrology and other stuff until things started to happen for me as well. So in fact, yesterday only, I just gave a random request to Mercury. I said, I would be really appreciative of you if you please do not influence much of the communication, especially this computer thing, internet. It gives a message of love and grace and light to all. And it seems Mercury has heard the request. What is Mercury retrograde? Well, we'll talk about that sometime later. Let's be focused in the class. Okay, so allowing yourself to close your eyes. We call for the angelic matrix of light to surround all of us and enter a space where we are. We request this angelic matrix to release any and all fear-based energies from our personal energy fields, from our personal space. Keep taking deep breaths. Visualize yourself surrounded cocoon in the sacred angelic matrix of light, including your room where you are. Every particle of light is an angel in form. Deep and fine breaths. We invoke the sacred presence of beloved Master Mary, also known as the Mother of Jesus. We invoke her sacred light, marine blue energy, mix of green. We invoke her sacred pillar of light to be anchored into the grid today, to help us be more at ease, more accepting to ourselves and others around us. As we start to work with the high frequency energies, we might start to throw up or release. That could also include people around us. It's always a good idea to call upon this white light anytime you feel that you're doing high meditation work and people are being triggered because of that light. Deep and fine breaths. And I would like you to just tap into this very sacred rhythm of Ave Maria. My throat is not yet perfect as before. However, it's more than enough to sing this one. I won't be singing the entire of the song, but it contains strong vibrations that has been sung for millennia. I would like you to bring awareness into your heart. Bring awareness to your heart. Again, these classes that you're hearing right now, even offline, these are not meant to be heard, at least in the first go while traveling or operating heavy machinery or doing other stuff. You really need to be present with the energy field, with the grid that all of us have been building live, and every time someone joins, it empowers the grid. A full deep breath, everyone. As you hear this sound, I would like you to visualize the grid of this entire journey to lighten up with white light. Perhaps silvers transforming into diamonds, white rays, blinding white rays, with shades of pink and more. You're creative on your own. Okay. Every time a sacred shloka, sutra, or any traditional hymn is sung, it taps into the power of this collective charge of so many monks and nuns and people and seers and masters and mystics and disciples and so much more. Ave Maria, gratia plena. Hail Mary, full of grace. Ave Maria, gratia plena. Maria, gratia plena. Maria, gratia plena. Ave, Ave, Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu in mulieribus, benedicta tui mulieribus. Ave Maria, gratia plena. Hail Mary, full of grace, blessed among the women. For the sacred fruit That was Jesus, that is Jesus. Blessed the earth and more. There's more to it, but that's where allowing yourself to feel his white light so strong. The Master Mary is known to work with angelic realm. It is said that after her ascension, she joined the angelic line of evolution. Even when you ascend, so to speak, uh, you still continue to evolve, and you get options. They say that you're given 7 options, and one of them is called as the temptation to become a deva, or the angelic line of evolution. We'll talk about all these things sometime later. If they make no sense right now, that is fine. You're not required to understand that to be here on this journey of grace. Feel that heart singing, wanting to hear that sound again, isn't it? The celt as well. I've noticed that this particular hymn, even when sung in front of people who totally do not understand the words, the English, the Italian, they just want to hear it again. I remember the first time hearing it. In fact, every time I hear it or sing it, it gives me goosebumps. Some strong connection. Continuing to take deep and full breaths, visualizing the entire grid surrounded by the royal purple light of beloved Archangel Michael. This is a year of life purpose. Even the highly evolved initiates fear to know the true life purpose, because life purpose basically demands the anchoring of the true power. With your eyes closed still, I would like you to hear this message 3, message of gratitude from the field of grace. Once again, I welcome you all to this journey and thank you for embodying these grace frequencies and to carry on and transmit it to the world. In sacred silence, as we walk through Mother Nature, be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow, the sacred silence has the potential to reactivate our memory, our oneness with the Creator of all that is. In sacred silence, in your own presence, one can have a glimpse of transcendental peace. Do fix an appointment with yourself, maybe for a few minutes. Those few minutes have the power to return back days, and if not years of inner peace, a peace that passeth understanding, unconditional, deep and profound, just as you are. Let's take a moment to tap into the voice of silence. I would like you to hear the statement once again. In sacred silence, as we walk through Mother Nature, be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow, the sacred silence has the potential to reactivate our memory, our oneness with the Creator of all that is. In sacred silence, in your own presence, one can have a glimpse of transcendental peace. Do fix an appointment with yourself, maybe for a few minutes. Those few minutes have the power to return back days, and if not years of inner peace, a peace that passeth understanding, unconditional, deep and profound, just as you are. Let's take a moment to tap into the voice of silence. Visualizing roots of light coming down through the root chakra and the soles of the feet to the earth. And feeling the sacred pillar, the sacred presence of Mary. If you cannot feel the energies, that is fine. Just your rest is required. I request you that you at least be with us until the half of the journey, like 1 or 2 days or something, and then decide for yourself. But the possibilities are that those who are not meant to be, they will not carry on, and that is totally okay. Everyone unto their own. But that is just my personal personality request, if you would say. Deep and fine breaths, and gradually opening your eyes. Now, I did receive requests from people, you're really missing the journey. You see, the journey will be recorded as and when possible. So in a way, it's kind of good to attend it offline because you will get all the days. But, life has its own fun as well. Okay. So people have asked, will the quit be dissolved? What if there are many days of gap, maybe 10 days, 15 days? In a very few days, few more days, I'll be starting with the 120 days journey with Angelic and Venkatesha, the only two who are qualified to go with the Black Ray initiation. So possibilities are that I may not get much time to record these calls. In fact, we will have to shift the timings, maybe. I don't know how it's going to be taken care of. So be prepared for it. So how to deal with that gap? You listen to the previous calls again. You practice more of Anapansati if you have attended live calls or if you attended an online class. There's also this set of journeys, again, the multi-body alchemical journeys and then the wealth transmission series. And if you're not called for any of that, I would like you to just be in silence and be with yourself, along with connected deep, fine breathing. Connected means where there's no gap between the inhale and exhale, and do it inhale, exhale without a gap. And with that deep and fine connected breathing, in silence, no mobile phones, no applications, nothing. We at least spend just 5 to 10 minutes with your I am presence, with your inner teacher, and allow it to guide you. Okay, so that's how you're gonna supplement it. Okay, so here we are. Let's see the feedback. Anything you would like to share? So I'm going to, okay, so if there is anything in particular that you would like to share, please unmute yourself. You can find the unmute button. If there's anything that you think there's a question about it, or you think can help others. And by the way, by recording our calls in this format, what will happen is all the audio will be recorded for the MP3. And as many of you noticed that at times you join a bit late, like 10 minutes, 7 minutes, it is programmed by this system, by the software, to kind of throw out the late attendees. It is just programmed. I have the option to enable that or not. Usually I enable it when I'm doing a transmission. It's like it's a high-speed train going on and you're trying to just jump right in. It's not good. Okay, so I think we shall carry on. Okay, so let us look into the message again. In sacred silence, what do we mean here by silence as sacred? Mark the capital letters. Remember, as in day one, I said there's a reason of every full stop, there's a reason about every sign that is used here, there's a reason about the capitalization of it. It is called sacred silence. It's not the silence of deep grief or, you know, sadness or small d darkness. This sacred silence is more about, being aware of what's going on within you. What are the thinking processes going on? What are the memories that you are communicating to yourself, you're bringing to yourself? And what are you planning for your life? How are you planning for your life? And are you maybe going with a different direction? And perhaps you need to reconfigure your sense of priorities, right? So that's why it's called the sacred silence. As we walk through Mother Nature, the passage that is talking about is as we walk through Mother Nature, you know, a lot of masters will talk about be calm, be still, but in a modern era, when we connect, what happens is, um, you know, we're like, how do we find inner peace? How do we find that? Do I buy it? Okay, maybe I go for shopping. You might feel good about shopping for a while, and then you go, oh, maybe I spent too much on the credit card. Or you try to eat the chocolate, and then it helps for a while. It gives you, happy hormones, as they say. But then again, it gives you a certain sense of happiness. What I'm talking about here is as we walk through Mother Nature, which means spending time in silence with Mother Nature. It could be your own garden, it could be a public garden, perhaps a time when a lot of people are not there. Let's say you're working 9 to 5 and the morning time is the only time or the evening time is the only time where you can go to the garden. Then find a spot in that garden, that public garden, which is not populated a lot by the people. Okay, so the sacred in sacred silence as you walk through Mother Nature. By the way, I've also found that if you're living in apartments and you have a floor, I mean a roof where you can walk, take a walk, and that is also kind of more than enough to connect you with nature. But green has its own frequency. When you connect with green, it's the frequency of the heart of Mother Nature. So that's a different thing. The next point that comes up is be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow. So this place of Mother Nature could be anything. Uh, of course, being more nearer to Mother Nature and living in an eco-friendly environment, it really helps you to connect with yourself, with life, with your inner rhythm. But most of us, I believe, living, hearing this call, we don't have access to a lot of greenery or even a personalized garden, let's say. There are a lot of resources on YouTube and Google you can figure out about growing some greens. Plants like money plant, it can grow easily just in water. So maybe you can do that. That little corner in your space. I think most of you have it, right? So it could be any place, be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow. Now sometimes people ask, how about a desert? Desert should be green, right? But a desert, if you look into the desert, it's totally reflecting abundance and prosperity. How? If you look at every single grain of sand and the vast sketch that it is, not trying to put our own human limitation as to, oh, it should be flowery and it should have trees and animals. In fact, the desert has animals, it does have, but a different type. So when you embrace the beauty of the desert, which is another form of embracing the contrast we talked about in the previous classes, you open up your consciousness to a very, very, very different level of awareness. Some expansion takes place. And the same goes with the snow. I think a lot of people love snow, but if you're cold-blooded, I mean, you get cold pretty soon. If you're like me, then maybe you may not like it. But it could be any place. Okay? So be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow. Now, some of you may ask that, hey, I live in an apartment and it's all busy, it's all jam-packed, it's just humans, like, forgive me to use that example. It's like hive, it's like bees and a hive, it's like that, maybe. I feel like that, maybe you can complain about it. So what you can do is maybe if you have a balcony, you can create a green space. If you have a room, give it at least 2 or 3 plants in your room. Work with a friend, work with search on Google plants which do not require much of sunlight. Just as I said, money plant. Basically, the point is to connect you with Mother Nature. And if you are really, 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 really into, like, I don't have enough time, I cannot take care of the plants, I feel guilt about having plants, and if I don't take care of it, have the stones. Have the stones and rocks, exotic stones and rocks. Don't have to be the precious ones. It could be from the beach, from a place, a forest that you just went to. So it will help you to connect. Okay? So The sacred silence has the potential to reactivate a memory. It's not just a common silence, it's a sacred silence. Why we call it sacred, you will get to know because it somehow attunes you to this field of grace, to this field of light. Okay? So it has the potential to reactivate a memory. What do we mean by reactivate a memory? A lot of masters say that soul realization or realizing your true nature beyond your body, mind, your desires, it's more of a memory. It's like you remember. In the Vedic traditions, they call it the smritis. It's like a memory. You don't actually learn self-realization or soul realization. We're going through books, we're going through transmission. That's okay, but you don't actually learn it. It's like peeling of the layers of the onion. Okay, so the sacred silence has the potential to reactivate a memory of oneness with the creator of all that is. It can reactivate. By the way, during the session, a lot of you have reported that suddenly you feel, just by hearing the words heart expansion, cellular expansion, that's fine. As I told in day one, I hope you have heard the day one and day two, which is required, by the way. It helps you to connect, it helps you to tune in. Okay? So, of oneness with the creator of all that is. The sacred silence has the potential to reactivate a memory of oneness with the creator of all that is. You see, the moment we found ourselves separate, we started to see ourselves as separate and be identified only with the physical body, we had pain, sorrow, and suffering. At the moment we move more and more into this awareness of who we are, awareness of our true oneness and sacred silence, we are like, oh, I thought I'm just a body, but hey, there's something that I am that does not change. It has been a total witness. There's a word in Sanskrit, sakshi bhava, total witness to everything that was happening before. There's a part of you that never changed since childhood and teenage and adult years and old age and more. Through happy times, through sad times, through traumatic times. There's a part of you that doesn't change. What is it? A oneness with the creator of all that is. In sacred silence, in your own presence. When you're in sacred silence, you're totally in your own presence. This is your true nature. In your own presence. You're not with any app, any social media, not even any music, any art, nothing like that. It's just sacred silence. I think all of the spiritual traditions talk about the sacred silence. They call it the Maun Sadhana, being in silence, not just keeping your mouth shut for a while, for an hour or two, or maybe a day or two, but really allowing that mind to be blank as well, as much as possible. But that's a different level of sacred silence, I would say. In the beginning, you may try just 1 hour of Maun, one hour of sacred silence. That's it, maybe. In sacred silence, in your own presence, that's where you realize, oh, I am not this body, I am not this memory, I'm not this relationship, I'm not this bad that happened to me, I'm not this that good that happened to me or happening to me or will ever happen to me. In sacred silence, in your own presence. It's like in the yogic tradition they say, the pond can truly reflect the beauty of the full moon when it is not agitated. The more disturbed it is, it's like the moon looks wavy, but the more calm it is, the more clearly it can reflect. So in sacred silence in your own presence, one can have a glimpse of transcendental peace. This peace does not come to cessation of any desire, any kind of bodily need, any kind of sensual need. It just is. The passage further quotes on, do fix an appointment with yourself. We are very smart to fix appointment with others. We're very smart to keep ourselves busy. But if you look at highly successful people, not just spiritually advanced people, but also people who are materially advanced, people who are, high levels of CEOs and entrepreneurs and very successful people, even the artists, they have an appointment with themselves. If you think that you're pretty sensitive, about other people's energies, especially. Spend at least 10 minutes with yourself. If you have gone to a marriage function, you're in a socializing function, you have to organize, let's say you're a manager of an event management company, at least 10 minutes for yourself. This might seem like a block, this might seem like, oh, I'm not being productive, because that's what the ego thinks. The more you do it, the more you're producing it, but it's not the way. It's like, um, the more we tune into the field of grace, what happens is we work less, and what happens is we get to produce more. This is totally blasphemous to the ego and the old traditional system, where they say you work more and you earn more, you have a more comfortable life, you have more peace and joy, but it doesn't work that way actually. When you shift to the field of grace, you will have the same time, same resources, but less of, I'm not saying that you would become lazy, but there would be more grace, there would be more ease, you know. And I always talk about, a lot of parents come to me and say, predict something for my child about, fixing his or her career. And I always say to the child, do what you love. You like painting, maybe make a profession out of the painting. And then, usually what happens most of the time is they come up and say, there's a lot of competition out there. I cannot make it. I'm not good enough. Well, that requires a whole lot of refragmentation, reconfiguration of belief system. I'm not good enough, and all of these things. So once we do it, we can really move on, move ahead. They say that if we work what we like, we will never have to work a single day in our life. Something like this. So do fix an appointment with yourself, maybe for a few minutes. Especially this message is for the mothers, your children are always wanting your energy, your presence, your services. That's okay. But do fix an appointment with yourself, including the men as well, who have a mothering role to play in their projects and their jobs. Because this appointment with yourself is really going to make a difference. It's going to be like a cutting edge in your field, wherever you're working, including professionally. So it is written here, maybe for a few minutes. You don't have to fix hours. Okay. And the interesting thing is, the more you begin to know yourself, the more you would like to spend time. It's like a lovely person. You would like to spend time more and more. You're calling that person again. Hey, come to me. We would spend some more time. I can really say that most of you are really lovely persons, and people literally hook onto you a lot of times. And what happens is that we feel okay, we feel that yes, we have to, but what happens is we feel drained, right? So it's more about, finding that inner reservoir of energy, of joy, of contentment from within. So maybe for a few minutes, those few minutes have the power to return back days. Power is written in capital P, power. You might hear that, you won't get those days back. Let's say you won't get the school days back, the college days back. But when you're in the field of grace, everything is happening in the moment of now. Past, present, and future simply collapse in the now. And people spontaneously experience past lives, future lives, and more. There are people who are so attuned to the field of grace that they can see the past, present, and future of a lot of people. Those kind are pretty few, um, but they are there. I'm very much sure it happened with you as well, like a deja vu experience. You saw something in your dream and you're like, oh, I saw this, right? That's where you hooked into the field of now. The concept of time is actually man-made. Time in truth doesn't exist. Yeah, shocking, isn't it? So those few minutes have the power to return back days, and if not years of inner peace. A peace that passeth understanding. What it means by if not years of inner peace. When we talk about meditation and God and source and life, a lot of people say, you know what, I'll talk about source, about life, about God when, I will finish my job, my children will be grown up, perhaps when I will retire. And usually what happens, by the time you retire, you don't have the energy to do the practices or the patience of it. But anyways, whenever you choose to walk on the path, so to speak, that is the absolute right time. Whether it's 7 years old, 17-year-old, 70-year-old, doesn't matter. Whatever is the time, everyone of us blossoms at our own time. There's no competition about it. So this inner peace, there's something else that we're all searching for. Even let's say the promotion, then let's say a financial, you wanted to have a particular amount of saving and you worked for it day and night, and maybe you took, let's say, 7 to 8 years to achieve it. You do experience some kind of satiation, and what happens, it's only for a while, but it's not for a long time. Maybe for seconds, maybe for days. Maybe you might tell to others that, oh, I'm enjoying it. You know, that includes a relationship as well. A lot of us tend to give away our power of joy, of happiness to a relationship. When this relationship would happen, I would be happy, happily ever after. But the fact is, happily ever after doesn't exist. Even the best of the couples fight, and it has to be the case. If we haven't learned to fight with our loved ones, we really haven't known love. Love is not just about lovey-dovey and talking sweet things. Love is also about expressing our differences, being assertive about our points, and listening to the other person's point of view, and also growing on ourselves. A lot of us had this strong belief system that if it's a relationship, not just romantic, but mother-daughter, father-son, any of that, you're not supposed to fight. But the truth is, it's not actually that. A peace that passeth understanding. A peace that cannot be described, cannot be understood. It just is. Unconditional, deep and profound. It is without any condition, without any relationship, without any situation, without any object or achievement. It's unconditional. And it is deep and profound. It is deep like the ocean, maybe deeper than that. And profound, it's like you can taste that. It's profound, it's like you can experience that. It's not just in philosophy. I know this work that we are working here is meant for the few, but actually I got to know later, when we started to record it. So what we call as abstract philosophy, abstract thinking, a lot of people still cannot understand that. They need logic, they need figures, they need data. What we are talking about is really going deeper, and we are touching the more rarefied levels of the mind, if you would say. So it is deep and profound. You can literally taste that peace in your cells. Unconditional, deep and profound, just as you are. You are unconditional, deep and profound. What it means? You are unconditional. What do we mean by that? Which means is that the purpose of every single one of us is really to relish and enjoy life and be in this field of love, absolutely. But this field of love is not about through a person, through an object, through a goal, through a mission. It just is. It is deep and profound. If we choose to be in the world and play the part of sensuality, we're doing it consciously. It's like we are really enjoying the honey, but not getting stuck to it. The problem comes up when we get stuck to desires, to sensual pleasures and other things, which, nothing is bad in them, but when we get stuck to it, and when we get stuck to it, we drain ourself of life force and more. So the passage further goes on. Let's take a moment to tap into the voice of silence. Mark this all capitalized word, voice of silence. Isn't it so profound? Voice of silence. The linear mind might go, how could silence have a voice? Because the linear mind cannot understand the higher mind, which many call as the causal world, the causal plane of existence, the place beyond the mind, especially our civilization right now when this is being recorded. The evolution of the mind is going on. Someone who has the most sharpest mind is the so-called rule, is a so-called king, is a so-called dominating force. It's not just the muscle power. Previously it was muscle power, then it came money. Now it's information. It's the information age where we're living in. Okay, take a full deep breath. I'm going to read this passage again, and then we'll go into the transmission, formal one. In sacred silence, as you walk through Mother Nature, be it a forest, a garden, a desert, a snow, the sacred silence has the potential to reactivate a memory, a oneness with the Creator of all that is. In sacred silence, in your own presence, one can have a glimpse of transcendental peace. Do fix an appointment with yourself, maybe for a few minutes. Those few minutes have the power to return back days, and if not, years of inner peace. A peace that passes understanding, unconditional, deep and profound, just as you are. Let's take a moment to tap into the voice of silence. Unconditional, beyond any beliefs, beyond any projections, beyond any, buying into projections of others, especially men. When society thinks that you should be making more money for a family, or women, when society expects that you should be taking care of your children all the time in a perfect manner, in such a manner that your children should not make any fault, and da 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 da. Unconditional, just pure nakedness, pure vulnerability. That is the holy meaning of Adam and Eve walking naked in the Garden of Eden, or Aphrodite coming to the ocean as naked. It's not just people think it's sensual art. No, it's not sensual art. It's talking deep, deep, deep about vulnerability. It's talking deep about being who you are and letting go of the veils of the peels of the onion, if you would say, right? Wow, aren't we touched by grace today? Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the formal transmission, allowing yourself to close your eyes, allowing the essence of everything that was just shared today here. I'm going to close down the camera. Smiling into your heart center. Perhaps some of you can sense the sweet nectar flowing through your tongue. Today the field of grace was very, very powerful, isn't it? A lot of you have mentioned that day one was very powerful. You see, every day is powerful, but yes, day one was exceptionally powerful in a way because it has to be the foundation. Remember, I, that you know as Narmada Akshat, is just a formality. There are days when I'm deeply into this field of grace. There are days where I'm a lot of into doing in logical stuff. So the energy will be qualified according to it. There are days when you would be calm. There are days when you would be not so calm. Bring awareness to the sole of your feet and your crown center. Feel your body stretching. Feel your feet going deep into the earth and your head stretching up, up, up into the room, up beyond the home, beyond the city, above the clouds, into the stars, and up, 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 up. Feel your cosmic body. What we're doing is spreading the awareness of our cosmic body. There's a particular avatar and incarnation of Vishnu, a cosmic avatar. We all have that aspect. Vishnu avatar. Total oneness. As you continue to stretch and expand, feel your body instead of the cells in your mind's eye. Instead of the blood, notice the galaxies, notice the stars and the planets. Notice the innumerable numbers of planets and stars and galaxies, and dimensions and beings, sentient, non-sentient beings, civilizations. The world is so vast. You're trying to tap into the higher mind, what some may call as a genius. Even great geniuses like Einstein, they received inspiration from the higher mind, including Tesla and many more. Beethoven, they just received it, including the great rishis of India. Including yourself when you suddenly receive an insight about a certain issue in your life. Eureka! Deep and fine breaths. Allow yourself to mentally become one with the universe, knowing that you're protected by the beings of light and its experience of expansion and oneness. Notice that it is inside your body that the stars take birth and the stars die. Civilizations take birth and civilizations die. Time takes birth and time dies. You're the embodiment of Mahakal. Tapping into this consciousness of the now and past, present, and future, they just stop, are eaten away by the pure presence of the Spirit. Allow yourself to continue to expand into other dimensions, into many lifetimes, past lives, future lives, parallel lives. Feel yourself like an egg of light expanding in all dimensions, not just this dimension, but in all dimensions of time and space. What many call as the timelines, and this includes all the sub-personalities of all those timelines and more. Like a Shivalingam, sphere of light. No form, just a sphere of light. You may want to visualize yourself as a small flame of light merging with this egg of light, where you can feel the movement, the rotation of the egg, and also the silence of the egg. I'm going to go into silence, let go, allow any memories, any visions to flow through. Do not hold back to any of it. Observe what it comes through. Some of you might fall asleep, and that's okay. Try to listen to this particular piece of transmission again and again. It's okay, as I said in day one, to fall asleep, but I highly recommend that in order to integrate it properly, you listen to it. I mean, consciously. You have already integrated in the first attempt, but to do it consciously in your brain, cellular cells, it's much more effective in grounding and rooting. So try to listen to it when you had a good night's sleep and you're relaxed. Let us go into silence. Allow ourselves to merge with the golden Shivalingam, the ultimate Jyotirlingam, the cosmic light body, not just personalized ascension or personalized light body, but cosmic light body. Allow whatever flows through. Let go. All pervading, all encompassing. No definition of good or bad, or rules or ethics or religion. No definition, just pure consciousness, pure spirit, pure presence. Let go. Whatever noise, inner thoughts, noise outside coming, let it come. Do not try to resist. Do not think that if this noise is stopped, you will know yourself. True silence actually comes from pure acceptance. Once that pure acceptance is done, you drop into pure awareness, pure consciousness, regardless of any situation, event, person, or people. Yes, you can be enlightened, in a city of concrete. Concrete is nothing but an aspect of God, isn't it? Let go of this limiting belief that enlightenment can only be found in the forests or the caves. Right here, right now, where you are, this is it. Let go. Filled to the brim, the cup runneth over, expanding and contracting, and being infinite beyond the linear mind, crossing the edge of the linear mind, that limit, that bubble of the linear mind. It just is. No more trying to explain. It just is. You may want to chant along the Shiva mantra as you continue to celebrate the joy in your heart and your consciousness of being yourself. These few minutes, even few seconds, is more than enough to begin your transformation. Some of us come again and again and go again and again to meeting ourselves. Some do it for a while and never return back. All unto their own. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Shiva, Shivaya Namah. Shivaya Namah. Shiva, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sing along. Doesn't matter how your voice is sounding or not. Even my throat is not perfect. What matters is that you sing. Doesn't matter how are you singing. What matters is that you paint. Doesn't matter how are you painting it. That's where the art gives birth to the genius. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya Namo. Shivaya Namo. Shivaya Namo. Shivaya Namo. Shivaya Nama Om. With a full deep breath, bring all of your awareness into your body. Consciousness is elastic, just bring it down. We can feel His joy even inside the body. It doesn't have to be just a meditation, it requires practice. Many masters call it the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, experiencing the oneness with spirit even inside his body, doing our job in the world. Let us chant 3 Oms. At the same time, be aware of the physical body. Feel the vibration emanating to your cells, realigning, rearranging. The mantra of omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, Om. Visualizing the lovely green energy coming from the ground, the earth, throughout the grid and through our individual space, integrating this buzzing transmission with joys and grace, deeply, completely, gracefully, joyfully, with a full deep breath, and permanently, if you so choose, we give great thanks to the forces of light for arranging this third day, for we know it's all up to the spirit. Everything, everything. With a full deep breath. And gradually begin to move your fingers and your toes. Go ahead and give yourself a great big hug. Honoring yourself for bringing so much light, awareness, consciousness. At your own pace, you may open your eyes with a big, big smile. Do fix an appointment with yourselves, a peace that passeth understanding. Thank you so much for tasting this delicious dish of the inner peace of yourself, everyone, blessed ones, truly blessed ones indeed. I look forward to meet you all tomorrow, possibly tomorrow. Let's see. You will get the email. If you would like to be updated about these classes, please drop me a message. And I hope you're listening to these calls one after the other, because in day one we have talked a lot about the protocols, the logistics. So thank you so much everyone for joining in. You may still want to just be in peace and this delicious energy. Literally my cells, the pores of my skin are literally, smiling and at peace at the same time. It's like my body feels literally, nurtured by the mother's milk. It's like that kind of feeling is it's out of satiation that's coming true. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, and I hope to meet you all tomorrow. Thank you so much, and please, please, have your journal, your private journal. Write down experience, because the trance is very strong, and we are pulled to it. We will be pulled to it until we attain so-called final mastery. So do write experience in a single line or two, and I would really appreciate if you can comment at Facebook, at my post, or at YouTube, just to give an idea to people as to what this is all about. Thank you so much. This is Narmada Akshat for Online Lightworkers Oasis, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. Namaste.